My name's Aaron. Welcome back to my channel. How are you? I'm fantastic. And today I'm reviewing Oceania Eau de Parfum by Roja. First off, I want to say thank you very much to Roja for sending me these to review. One thing I want to say is I love all the correct labelling on the back. As a chemist, this makes me very happy that this obviously complies with all the regulatory paperwork and is safe and legal for you to try. So on the site it says, deeply concerned by the vulnerability at the heart of our fragile oceans, a donation from every sale of Oceania Eau de Parfum will be made to charities dedicated protecting our precious seas. Top notes are lemon, bergamot, grapefruit, lime, mandarin, rosemary, thyme, lavender, hundreds of geranium, ylang-ylang, violet, jasmine sambac. Base notes are galbanum, moss note, vetiver, cedarwood, juniper berry, sandalwood, benzoin, vanilla, orris, lavdamon, and musk. The cost of this is £295 for 100ml. Do we have our fragrance samples? Are we engaged with our higher self? Let's get testing. So first thing I want to say is I've obviously just been through rebrand, and to print each individual thing on a 10ml is outrageously expensive. No, this is just it just looks very expensive and really well branded and a lot of thought, time, and I really appreciate that because yes, I like it very much, but we're not here to review packaging, we're here to review what's inside. So I'm actually going to commend him on what he's done here, because I really feel like he's tried to step up his game or appeal to a different demographic, because the fragrances I've tried tend to fit into a 40 to 50 year old demographic. Incredible formulations, really thoughtful, eloquent, but not particularly youthful. And that is not a criticism, that is just the demographic of his brand. He's fitting with a demographic. But this to me feels like it's utilising aroma chemicals and naturals to appeal to a much wider demographic. And I really hope that's to do with the charity, because I can speak for myself. When I think about a charity fragrance, I try to think of something that's so mass appealing you generate money for a charity. That's my thinking, and I would hope that was similar to this as well. So this is just really lovely. It's lots and lots of acetates backed against sort of linalool, lysol super. Classic French choice of musk here. You have a musk that deals with the bloom of the fragrance, very eloquent fragrance. It smells very expensive. All this work I think smells expensive and eloquent. Now, grapefruit is quite a dangerous raw material to have on the skin because it's a phototoxin and you really don't want that on your skin at all. So as perfumers, we deal a lot with acetates to give the flavour of grapefruit, but to make it incredibly safe. So he's dealing with a very unsafe essential oil in a very safe way by using acetates, which is what you would expect from a skilled perfumer. Just some beautiful musks going through, very soft musks. This does feel tropical. The musks he's using are lending themselves to sort of driftwood and a soft sweetness to it. I love the oak moss in this as well. The oak moss aroma chemicals are just beautifully composed at perfect concentration to me. Now where this gets very exciting is the naturals, and in a lot of the houses I tend to love fragrances that utilise, I would say, 20 to 30% naturals, and you know, blending it beautifully with aroma chemicals, really good quality aroma chemicals that help to project and fix to the skin. And that's exactly what he's done here. There's just really good quality naturals going into this. Cedarwood and sandalwood adds that driftwood feel in just a gorgeous way. Cedarwood is a beautiful raw material. I've got two or three forms, I can't remember, in my factory, and I'm always surprised how I've got 3 forms. I'm always surprised how you add a different species of sandalwood and it gives a completely different feel. And this is just very soft sandalwood in this. Vetiver gives a delicious green feel at an amount to not be particularly taxing to my brain and freak me out. I love the choice of mandarin orange and lemon. And this is using my favourite type of lavender, which is, I cannot pronounce it with the G at the end. I think if it is Spanish lavender, I don't use any other variety. I use this. And this gives a sweetness and a slight herbaceous feel at the base. This is just sweetness that goes through. It's very sweet, elevating, beautiful, expensive smelling fragrance. On to my final thoughts. Really like this actually. I think it's the most youthful of the fragrances that I've smelt of his, but it still feels between the demographic of 30 to 40. You're not going to like it if you like Ambroxan Monsters, and I really don't think he was aiming for an Ambroxan Monster. Personally, I think this is a very classy fragrance, and I can't really imagine he would ever particularly want to produce anything like that, because it's not eloquent at all. It's just, I feel he's dealing with a classic way to build perfume, and this really comes through here. Years of experience, skill, thought, and diligently working at a formulation to create something. And I love the name, and I love the whole concept behind helping to give back, to the world. So I'll go through marks for you. I think technically it's a 4 out of 4, obviously, because I think it's just it. This to me just reeks of experience, years of knowledge, classic training, knowledge. I can sense love behind all this work. It doesn't feel rushed. Time and energy is really put into this in a thoughtful process. The money, I'm comparing it to his other work, and this is for 100ml, and I'm also comparing the amount of raw materials, and then I think this is worth the money actually, because the amount of raw materials, the amount of naturals in this fragrance is quite high, and the choice of aroma chemicals in this are really, really well thought out. This is really thoughtful, so I'm going to give it a 2 out of 2. Do I like it? It's not my style of perfumery, and that's what I've always got to bear in mind. I think it's very beautiful. I love the way as well, I think he's tried to do something different with his style of perfumery. I think he's tried to update his style of perfumery and appeal to a wider demographic. I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10, but because of the donation to charity, I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10, because that to me is beautiful, and really I wish more companies out there would give back money to the world. This shouldn't always be about corporate and about making money and about putting aroma chemicals in at trace amounts to claim something. This should be getting back to an honest way to do perfumery. This should be about companies giving back. It shouldn't be all profit driven. That's what I personally feel, and this I love very, very much, so I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. I would thoroughly recommend that perhaps getting this size to try. All his work is really, really has fantastic longevity, and I love that very much. So I think that you're getting really good value for money. You're getting something that's going to last and last and last, and for quite a citrus ozonic fragrance, that's really, really tough to do. Speak from experience, it's really difficult to balance longevity with projection, and I think he's done this excellently. I think this is suitable for lighter skin types. I think on lighter skin types this would be quite monstrous, and I think on darker skin types it would sit slightly closer, and that's the payoff with using quite a lot of citruses balanced against wood. He does love cedarwood and sandalwood very much. I think all perfumers have our favourite raw materials which we use, like we have Old Faithfuls which we go back to, when we're sort of thinking about what we do, we always go back to that, and I think that he loves vetiver, sandalwood and cedarwood. I think that is his choice of raw materials, and that's his style of perfumery. So I hope you love that review. Thumbs up and subscribe for more fascinating, interesting content, lots of dancing hands and lots of reviews. I hope you're staying safe and well, and I'll see you soon.